I'm Uncle Mark. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome to you too. Just working on my Ford Flex with the Ecoboost at 3.5. It's got a problem with Bank 1 Sensor 1. What is that? So upon it running, I ended up getting a check engine light on here, and that could mean anything, couldn't it? You could be guessing all day long. So I got my scanner out, and I'll put a link in the description below in case you want to get one of these. They're not very expensive, and it does a whole lot of stuff, including live data, which a lot of the cheaper ones don't. It said it was a P0130. P0130, what is that? Well, it's this oxygen sensor on the passenger side. So what I'm going to do is stick a jack under this on the Ford Flex, and we're going to jack it up a little bit. I just want to loosen some lug nuts. I just want to loosen them. I don't want to take them off. 19 millimeter lug nuts, if this is what you have on your Ford Flex. So once I got them all just loosened up just enough so that I can take the nuts off later, with the tire still kind of on the ground, I'm going to jack it up now a little higher. And they should be easy enough to take off. Just a little less pressure on everything. Now they're loose, so I'm just going to zip them off with my electric impact, and the tire's out. I'll try and put a link in the description too if I can find where I bought this impact. It's been a good one so far.
Okay.
So safety first, of course. I'm putting jack stand on the frame, very close to where I ended up jacking it. That way if I have a problem with the jack, it's not going to fall off of this jack stand. So we can see it right here, and it goes into the cat. And there's wires on top on the passenger side as well. I'm going to have to unhook it, and it's really hard to see, but they join.
Twisted on there.
Show you if I can get my hand in here way down. Either follow the wire up from underneath or down from on top here. Either way, you'll see it. And the connector's just, I don't know who builds these things. Well, Ford did, I guess. Why not have it just a little bit longer on one end so it'd be easier to unhook? No, it's kind of halfway in the middle of up and down. No, the harness is actually attached to one of the bolts on the rear valve cover. That's what I'm trying to undo here to just give me a little more room to grab the connector. So this is just kind of basically where it's tied down, and right here you can see it sitting there, poof, popped it off. It's going to give me a few more inches to work with, because like I say, this is not easy to grab. It'd be nice to actually have two hands in here. But there's so little room. I guess if you could have a person underneath grabbing up, and then you on the top here holding down, you could both hang on to each end of the connector. I was able to do it by myself, one-handed, but you'll see I got a whole bunch of scrapes and scratches because of it. Look underneath here again and see where it goes up. And I think actually I was able to already unhook it. Now there it is right there. White wire, or white shielded wire that goes all the way up. That's a little bit of blood. Got myself already. Sorry about showing you really. Yeah, there we go. That's a little better. A little further away. Just try and unhook that wire. Hook the connector. There it is. Still hooked up. So I'm going to take a closer look at it to see on the new one here, or on another old one, how exactly this connector works, because you cannot basically see it. So it gives you an idea what it's going to look like and what it connects to. I guess what we could do is take a look at the other one from the other side. I'll show you here in a minute. I'll get my hand in there again, and like I say, you're just working with your fingers, not easy to do. So basically what I'm going to do is just look at the front connector here for the front O2 sensor. Or this would be on the, I guess, the driver's side if it was in a truck. Just going to unhook this. See how this clip is connected together? This connector. And then we'll know what the other one's like. So it looks if you can push down on that little tab there, that is going to unhook it. Give me a second here and we'll unhook it. If you want, you can skip to the next chapter. It'll just give you a little more of an idea how hard it's going to be to unhook. There we go. Unhooked. Just have to push on that one end there. Here, I'll show you. Pushing that right there, and Bob's your uncle, or whoever's your uncle. It's unhooked. Go back underneath now. I guess if you wanted, what you could do, just cut this wire off. It's going to be in the way, but for some reason I didn't cut it off again. Now, this special socket, I'll put a link in the description if you want to buy one of these. They're not very expensive. They'll save you a whole lot of trouble. What they do is go over the wire. That's what the slit is in there for, and it makes it easier to take it out. It'll also make it easier to put it back in. Not much room in here. I used a flex handled ratchet. I had lots of trouble with that, so I ended up using one that's not.
Push this baby
And I went back to that again. It's like whatever's going to work. This side I'm going to have to pull up. It's lefty-loosey. And then try and pull this out of here. And again, with the wire, having to spin the wire around as well, it makes it a little difficult, but there we go. And it's out. That's what connector looks like. You're going to want this piece because the new one's not going to have it, I don't believe. It's how it's connected back on. It's just an extra clip on there. I don't believe the new one had it. What you're going to notice, I'm actually going to put a used one on here, and because, well, I kind of goofed. I swapped the wrong one. I swapped the one on the front.
Came up with
I don't know what I was thinking. So the phone on the front has got the new one, and there was nothing wrong with it. So it was actually this back one, back O2 sensor that was the problem. I should have known better. Hey, guys make mistakes, gals make mistakes. Everybody can make a mistake once in a while. It's my own vehicle, so whatever. So I was gonna buy a new one for the back too. I figured, let's have them both. And then it got really warm out here in Manitoba, Canada. It was like about 32 degrees Fahrenheit, so I figured, hey, that's a good time to try and do it before it goes to minus 40 Fahrenheit. This is in February when I was doing this. So I'm putting a good used one that I know works back in here. I don't know what I got the garage up to. It was maybe 28 or something Fahrenheit. Maybe. 4 was still cold. So it's going to work just the same way a new one would in here. You're going to hand tighten it, then get your special socket back on here, O2 sensor socket.
No, don't turn.
And there is a torque spec for this, of course. But I don't know if you're going to get a torque wrench in here. And even if you get it in there, I don't know if you can even move it. So I'm just going to make it pretty tight. I don't know as tight as you do a spark plug. I believe the torque spec is like 48 Newton meters or 35 pound-feet or foot-pounds. So that's what I'm going to do it to, or something close. Now, how do you get the wire back up there? That's the next thing. Unless you've had a really, really skinny arm, and mine's not bad. I use this tool, this metal grabber. Put it on the end there, and of course, again, I'm working by myself. Maybe if you've had two people, one from the top, one from the bottom, you could grab the wire, but I couldn't. So this is what I'm using, this grabber tool. Let's see too if I can find this, maybe put a project link in the description for it. Got it up to where I needed it. Where are we here? Grab it with my fingers. Now the fun part's going to be attaching these two short wires again together. Maybe on the truck this works really easy. On the Ford Flex, not so much. Really hard to get at these because there's not much room between the firewall and the engine. But I was able, from underneath, to clip the two together. And that may be a suggestion you'll want to do. So it's out of focus a little bit. And then once I got it done, actually what I did, I think, is I tie strapped it just loosely to one of these fuel lines. I think it's a fuel line. Then jacked it up a little bit, got my jack stand from underneath out of there. got my wheel back on, and was pretty much done. Now all we have to do is clear a code. So what I noticed is after, well, see all my little scratches and stuff, I'd expect to get some scratches and scrapes. So let's get back to this. I started it up, and I was hoping the check engine light would go out right away, but it didn't. So maybe after 4 or 5 starts, maybe if you drove it around the block, if you don't have a way to shut the light off, although how did you know what to replace in the first place? You must have had a code reader. This one, I'm just going to go back in there and find out what the code is, and then just erase it. So go down to, okay, so that was the code. There's no new codes. We figured that out. Go back to erase, go down to erase, click OK. Do I want to do it? Sure. All the codes have been replaced. Took it for a drive. Everything's A-OK. It hasn't come back. I've driven it now for a month, and it's been fine. So I got it done, just scraped up a little bit, but hey, it's going to cost one way or the other, either in some skin removed or maybe some cash removed from your wallet. So I figured I'll go with the skin. That grows back pretty easy. I'll have some links in the description if you're looking for some of those tools. Also, if you're doing the other oxygen sensor, maybe it was the front one, or the driver's side if you're in a truck, link right up here. Top there, see the yellow flashing arrow? It points to where you can find a link for that video as well. Plus, if you have the Ford Flex, let's put a whole complete playlist. Big blue circle, flashing yellow arrow again, that brings you to a card on the Ford Flex playlist. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Do your best to be safe. Talk to you another time. Bye-bye for now. No, sit here. Sit here. No, right here. Sit. Wait, sit. Come here. Sit. Shake a paw. Good girl. Here. Where are you going? I got more. We're not done. That's a good line there. Light up. You can do it. There we go. How easy is it? Really? Just that I used. If you're wondering about the other